Elon Musk is known as the hardest worker in every room. The companies he creates from the ground are a testament to his hard work. Now, Elon Musk tries to give his instinct to his 5 children. Elon mentioned a lot of times that he hadn't had the best childhood, but now he got the resources to make sure that his 5 children have the possibility to be as big as him one day. Today, we'll take a look at the rules that Elon Musk's kids need to follow. We're pretty sure that your parents told you that you should go to school. In Elon Musk's case, he doesn't want his kids to go to a regular school, so he built one. In an interview, the reporter asked, "So you want to keep your kids away from regular schools?" We know Elon's mindset. If he doesn't like something, he will build his own version. Musk replied, "I just didn't see the regular schools weren't doing the things I thought should be done. I thought, let's see what we can do. Maybe creating a school would be better." So in 2014, Elon Musk asked Josh Don, a former Tech for All fellow and his kid's teacher at the time, if he wanted to start a better school with him at SpaceX. This sounds crazy, but so the Ad Astra school was born. At the school, Musk uses the first principle thinking, which is basically the practice of actively questioning every assumption you think you know about a given problem or scenario and then creating new knowledge and solutions from scratch. This is the same principle he used back as he wanted to build a rocket. He asked himself, what's a rocket made of? Then he calculated the cost. He found that raw materials were nearly 100 times cheaper, so he decided to build his own rockets instead of buying one. And this is one of the reasons why SpaceX is so big. For his school, he uses 2 principles: batch children by ability instead of age. In regular schools, children are batched by age, not by their abilities. The school system expects students of the same age to learn at the same pace, but Musk disagrees with age separation. Elon said, kids have different abilities at different times. It makes more sense to cater the education to match their aptitudes and abilities. Don't teach the tool, teach the problem. We know Elon as a problem solver and knows how important it is to be a problem solver these days. So he wants the kids at his school to learn useful things. Learning to use tools is pointless and boring unless those tools help you solve a real problem. Listen, the tools you need to take an engine apart aren't the same as trying to disassemble the engine yourself. By doing the work, you see the tool's relevance as you go. In an interview, Musk said, "Well, my observation is that my kids were mostly educated by YouTube and Reddit. I guess there were lessons as well, but judging by the amount of time they spent online, it seemed like most of their education is actually coming from online." Musk added that he thought education should be as interesting and exciting as possible, and that thinking about it in terms of video games could help keep kids more engaged. A few years later, Chrisman Frank, Don's former colleague at Class Dojo, visited Ad Astra, and he was really impressed with the school. Frank convinced Dan to spin off Synthesis as a for-profit company. Frank wanted to scale the learning software and develop a generation of super thinkers. Now, let me explain how it works. The concept is to learn the kids to be problem solvers, so the kids have to learn new things from each other. In a podcast, Frank said, "Lectures remain the dominant teaching method in most schools, but they don't allow for dialogue, discussions, and disagreement. Instead of training students to become active thinkers, schools train them to become passive listeners." He added, "Books don't train for problem solving. From my time as a math teacher, I remember real-world textbook examples, but students knew I had the right solution in my teacher's book. Reality is more complex than right or wrong. Most schools teach students to follow the rules as opposed to thinking for themselves. The school is focusing heavily on artificial intelligence, coding, and applied science courses. Sports and music are not included in the schedule, and foreign languages are absent due to Musk's belief that the real-time translation software will soon make teaching the subject irrelevant." The school had 40 students in 2018. Synthesis claims that they want the kids to step outside their comfort zone. At Synthesis, there are no teachers to ask for the correct answer when things don't work. The kids are working in teams to solve the problem together. Fabrega says children crave complexity. She said that the kids feel comfortable being uncomfortable. As we know, Musk is skeptical about the traditional education system. He described college as a bunch of annoying homework and assignments. In a famous interview, he said, "I think colleges are basically for fun and to prove you can do your chores, but they're not for learning." Tesla's recruiting material doesn't have anything that says the company requires a college degree. He's calling the prerequisite absurd. There's a system called Mario Effect for faster learning. Mark Rober is a former NASA engineer turned YouTube star. He fostered his students' growth mindset. He plans his entire lessons around it and focused on praising efforts instead of outcomes. Not only that, but he shows his students mistakes so they can learn from his mistakes. Like Elon, he's against the system too. He claims when a kid received a bad grade, they felt demotivated. Kids received bad grades when they make mistakes. He can't blame a student for trying to avoid them. The question is, how can you frame a learning process so you're not obsessed with failure? The answer is games. The focus and obsession are about beating the game, not about how dumb you might look. And as a direct result of that attitude of learning from but not being focused on the failures, we got really good, and we learned a ton in a really short amount of time. He continues, it feels natural to ignore the failures and try again. The same way a toddler will want to get up and try to walk again, or the same way you want to keep playing Super Mario Brothers. Synthesis game-based learning, they reframed the learning process and created a game-based learning experience. The results? The student's fear of failure isn't a problem anymore. Fabregas says, when mistakes are not penalized, people are more likely to just keep trying. And if you keep trying, then naturally you have more chances of eventually succeeding. And Elon quoted, the more we can gamify the process of learning, the better. Ad Astra was previously housed inside the estate that formerly belonged to the actor Gene Wilder, a $7 million home in the Bel Air neighborhood of Los Angeles. But Musk sold the house last October, and it's not known where the school has relocated. Musk's older children, two 17-year-old twins, are most probably wrapping up their Ad Astra education. He also has 15-year-old triplets as well as a 9-month-old baby with Grimes. Does Elon Musk revolutionize the school system? He was so unhappy with the system and he built his own school. Schools are to follow instructions when reality has changed. Elon Musk can be an inspiration for other people so they can change the school system, so the kids can have more fun at school and learn how to be a problem solver. Ad Astra recently changed into Astronova. They want study centricity, a value for individual abilities, praising curiosity. Elon said, what if students were taken seriously and their time well spent? Astronova believes in meaningful student experiences across age levels and domains. I couldn't agree more. There's no reason any child should not enjoy learning. What do you think about Elon Musk's mindset? Do you think he's doing the right thing? Please let us know in the comment section below, and check our playlist as well to watch more Elon Musk videos.